Bum, 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 bum. Urban Therapy with Sun Show. What you know, how to go. Yeah, we are here, and it's time for the flow. Glad to be here this Sunday afternoon. We're going to get it going down like a goon. Not beating you up or bullying you. No, we gonna make sure that we make sure the show don't stall. And this is for all y'all and each and every one. My name is SUN, the spell Sun. All right, y'all. Today on the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. First of all, I want to welcome y'all all to the Urban Therapy with Sun Show, and I'm glad y'all came through on a Sunday afternoon. Here it is, the Memorial Day weekend. You know, the unofficial start of summer. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world right now, but y'all chose to come check the brother out, and I appreciate it. We got a good show for y'all today. Today, we're going to talk about the reason that we root for the underdog when it's convenient. The reason that we root for the underdog when it's convenient. Now, I say that we root for the underdog when it's convenient because we don't always root for the underdog. A lot of times, the underdog is the popular choice because it might be somebody who has proven their skills. They are on the come up. They are showing promise. They are working hard. They are doing the damn thing. And they seem like they're ready for the world, ready to challenge for the title, for the championship, for the belt. And we might really have some personal ties to him. One one thing about an underdog story is that a lot of times you see yourself and can identify with whoever the underdog is. You know, you might be witnessing somebody that takes you back to a place where you remember where you were fighting for a spot, where you were taking a shot, where you were given an opportunity, or when you were trying to look for an open door or some type of crease or some area where you could sneak in there and showcase your talent and make it. And there may have been forces that were keeping you down. There may have been circumstances that were keeping you back, holding you back, wouldn't release, wouldn't break the chains and let you get out there and do the damn thing. So you might see somebody that's fighting through all of that, and it might remind you of when you were fighting through all of that, and it might make you want to support that underdog. Like, yo, this one got it going on. And plus, when that underdog is humble, it really helps, doesn't it? When the underdog doesn't seem to know how pretty they are. You know how it is. Have you ever known somebody that was really pretty or really handsome, but they don't seem to recognize what they bring to the table in that regard? Like you never see them primping themselves or you know how some people can't walk past a mirror without stopping and checking themselves out, you know? Things like that. You may not see them showing any signs of being egotistical or conceited or stuck on themselves or anything like that. They just out here, literally out here just living, trying to get some things done, maybe working for the good of others or whatever. And you might see that and say, wow, that brother or that sister doesn't even recognize the gift that they have. But I recognize it and I'm going to promote him. I'm going to push him. I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to make it happen for them, even if they don't see it happening for themselves yet. Or they may be trying to make it happen for themselves because they may be so good at their craft. They may be so good in their profession that you say, listen, this person should be up here instead of being down here. They should be all the way up here instead of down here. But everybody has to wait their turn. So those are some of the things that can influence whether we support the underdog or not. Whether we be screaming from the rooftops like, yo, give my man a chance. I know that they are ready to advance and I know that they can dance and sing and perform and they going to keep the thing warm. And that people those persons that group, that all of them, you've been supporting the ones that's the champions, the ones that's most popular. Yo, they ain't the real stars. Somebody's just waiting to take their crown because they really not down. And I'm gonna show you. Well, there are plenty of reasons that we might support the underdog. Like I said, sometimes it might be personal. Sometimes it might really be personal. Like they might be your son, your daughter, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, your neighbor, your coworker, a friend from back in school. Whatever the situation, you might have some personal ties to them. And you know how it is when you know somebody that's really good at something, but they might be missing that key ingredient. They got that one little thing that they missing. And you see it, even if you can't correctly identify it. A lot of times it's easier to identify what somebody doesn't have than to see what they do have. Sometimes, not all the time. No, no, no. I ain't about to sit in front of this camera and tell y'all that it's always easy to know exactly what a person should do in order to make it. I mean, shoot, you know, that can be as difficult as identifying that in our own lives. Sometimes we trip over ourselves or wonder how come we're not getting farther than we are getting. And a lot of times it's promotion. A lot of times it's exposure. You can be the best in the world, or at least close to it. But if nobody sees you and nobody knows about you, how can anybody confirm that this is the person that should be getting put on? This is the one. Well, that's what we're here to talk about today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. So let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight. Go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show, Sunday, May 28th, and we are talking about the reason that we root for the underdog when it's convenient. It's convenient to root for the underdog when you're pissed off with the hot hand, the popular choice, the champ, the proven champ at that. You know, some of these champions out here have defended their title time after time after time, but we all know that there are some of these champions out here who have handpicked their opponents. They knew who they could beat or who they would have a hard time with or easy time with, and they chose accordingly. And we can tell, oh, you've been ducking so-and-so. You've been ducking so-and-so. Why you ducking them? Why you keep ducking them? It happens. 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 But people like the hot hand, man. People love the hot hand, especially gamblers. If you are a gambler, you probably want to go with the hot hand, the more reliable choice, the one that has been proven, tried and true, battle tested, the one that you can pretty much put your money on and be guaranteed a turnover from the choice that you make. So that's also one of the reasons that we say that we root for the underdog when it's convenient. When you're a betting person, when you're a gambling person, you might root for the underdog because it's going to net you a bigger purse. You're going to get more money if this underdog beats this champion. So it would be really nice for you, gambler, GA Gamblers Anonymous, needing to go to ass nigga. It might be more lucrative for you to bet and put all your money on the underdog who you really think has a good chance to beat the champion. You know, even when we don't understand all of this gambling lingo, and all of the ins and outs, the over and the under, the point spread and all of that stuff, even if we don't totally understand all that stuff, what we do understand is that just like the lottery, when the unlikeliest numbers come out, you win more money. So you're going to get paid more for a big four or a five pick than you would for a three pick. Of course, because it's easier to pick three numbers. The probability of you getting three numbers correctly is a lot higher than getting four or five. Four or five numbers, picking them correctly, especially straight, that's hard to do. Very hard, but you can do three. Especially when the three numbers, the three balls or whatever, only go up to 9. When they only go up to 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. So yeah, for gamblers, when it's convenient, when you know that it's going to make you more money, or if you are a gambling guru, somebody who is supposed to be well versed in choosing predictions, well, should I say, someone who is good at predicting outcomes of matches, of competitions, you know, that sometimes going with the underdog may be risky, but it will net you rewards that far exceed going with the hot hand. But the majority of people seem to go with the hot hand. You know, the one that we already know has been playing for years and winning. The Beyoncés, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Julio Cesar Chavez back in the day, the Oscar De La Hoyas back in the day, the Lennox Lewises back in the day, maybe even Evander Holyfield back in the day. You know, people who have been longtime champions or who won the championship even after losing the championship at certain times. So I said so. So who else in the music industry? The Denzel Washingtons, the Will Smiths, the Chris Rocks, the come on, y'all, in the singing industry, in the music industry. Who were some of the hot hands that you can think of right out the gate? What up, Stacey White? What's going on, T. Carey, right? Help me out a little bit if y'all can. The hot hands. Oh, definitely like the Kevin Harts. Music. I guess you could say Jay-Z. You could say Jay-Z. You might even say Nas. I'm trying to think about some people who may be even overrated. Diddy. Okay, I'll take that. The Diddies of the world. You might well, they've been gone for so long now. But I was going to say, you know, like the Tupacs, the Biggies, and all of that. The thing is, they were hot when they were alive, but their popularity and death is nothing. I mean, their popularity in life is nothing compared to their popularity in death. I'll never be able to stop wondering what would have happened with both of them when the time would have come for them to play out. You look at somebody like Snoop Dogg. This is a good example too. Look at somebody like Snoop Dogg. Who would have thought that from all the way back to 1991, Snoop Dogg, Snoop Doggy Dogg would still be relevant. And I mean hella relevant in rap music today. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that 31, 32 years later, that Snoop Dogg would still be able to make records, sell them, critique others, judge contests, things like that. Who would have thought it? Talk about an underdog. As well as he started out, I never felt like Snoop in all his glory, even during his first album, Doggy Style, his first album, as hot as he was, I never looked at Snoop as being overrated, and I never thought that he would last. I just didn't think so. With that style, you know, he wasn't the greatest lyricist, but he had something. He put some shit together and raised the eyebrows like, he did it again. Who would have thought he would still be able to do it? With reggae, with actual singing. Remember what was that song he had out years ago? Where he actually sung the song. Snoop was very much the underdog. TK Wright says, Teddy Riley, Mike Tyson, Beyonce and Jay-Z, Will Smith, Lil Wayne. You cannot tell Lil Wayne fans nothing about no Lil Wayne, can you? I'm like, Lil Wayne? Yo, talk about having the wool pulled over your eyes. He is not that good. I'm sorry. And I'm a fan, but no, overrated. But if you're overrated and you keep winning, I guess your overrated status lists you as an underdog, doesn't it? Ugh. Ugh. What they say, you almost made me throw up in my mouth. Teddy Riley. That's interesting. I'm so prejudiced against Teddy Riley because of that New Jack Swing bullshit that I guess I never really looked at Teddy Riley as being hot like that. But that shows what I know, because that's being rational or being objective. I can't deny the power that he had or the influence that he had on the industry. He was hot. I didn't believe in his heat. He was hot, but I ain't believe in his heat. Well, yeah. But I'll tell you one thing. Out of everybody on that list, well, everybody that you listed, T. Carey, right? The only one I don't think is really relevant to this day is Teddy Riley. Now, I will entertain arguments, but I don't hear Teddy Riley being that it producer or even being in those conversations about who was the best. I don't. Has anybody ever thought that Teddy Riley was the best producer? I know when he was doing Michael Jackson stuff, yeah, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, Teddy this, Teddy that." Oh yeah. That's a marriage made in heaven. Teddy Riley and Michael Jackson. Do you remember the time we fell in love? You remember the time that we first. He did some good things for Michael Jackson. He really did. You ever think about What if Michael Jackson had linked up with Babyface? Can you imagine the ballad that Babyface could have written for Michael Jackson? Because I like Babyface a lot more than Teddy Riley. Like I said, Teddy Riley and that New Jack Swing stuff, it just turned me off so bad. To this day, I didn't like it then. I didn't like it then. I don't want to hear it now. You know how sometimes years pass and you be like, yo, that was pretty dope. Not me. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. TK Wright says he was relevant for a time, but not long term. Who you talking about Teddy? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he was hot, think about. I mean, late '80s. You know, doing that stuff with Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown should worship the ground that Teddy Riley walks on. Really, I don't think that that Bobby Brown would be in any of those discussions about how good he was for those for his second and third album if it wasn't for Teddy Riley. Well, and I don't even know about his third album because his third album was, Ain't Nobody Humping Around. And it doesn't sound like Teddy Riley had as much of an influence on that album as he did, the second album. We can't even really count the first album because we don't know who produced that. You know what I mean? The only hit I remember off of that is I Need a Girlfriend, which is actually, I ain't gonna lie, that's one of my favorite songs by Bobby Brown. Like, to me, I Need a Girlfriend is up there with My Prerogative and what is it? I wanna rock with you, baby. Oh, not it's to me, it's up there with that. To me. Don't get me wrong. And if you ever, I don't know if y'all ever listened to the whole song of I Need a Girlfriend. I don't know if y'all knew, but they probably owe the group Switch some money. The way that I Need a Girlfriend starts out with the horns and all of that, I'm thinking that they're about to say, want me to. Anyway, the song by Switch. I gotta get the other songs out of my head. Switch's first album. They stole I Need a Girlfriend totally stole. Gotta let her know she's mine. Please don't. Wishing you were mine. If it's what I gotta do, I'm gonna make it up to you, baby. Said I love you, baby. You should know. Real. Anything. What's the why I can't get the chorus? Many days have gone by. I said to myself, gotta let her know she's mine. What is it? What's the song, y'all? It's by Switch. Anyway, they took the whole song. The beginning of I Need a Girlfriend is identical to the way that song that I'm talking about. I want with you, baby. Oh my goodness. God damn it. Here we go. Okay. Mhm. All right, here we go. I want to be closer. I want to be closer to you, baby. I want to be closer. I'm telling you that if you go back and listen to I Need a Girlfriend, and if you go back and listen to I Want to Be Closer by Switch, you be like, somebody owes somebody some money, unless they straight sampled it. But we talking about 1986. What was it, 86, 87? It wasn't those, we wasn't sampling like that. Yeah. I want to be closer. I want to be. I would play both beginnings, but then YouTube would be like, "You must be crazy." Oh, I get it. You don't want your channel. You don't want you don't want this show to go down. No problem. Even though I believe that they changed some things in that regard. I believe they changed some things in that regard. All right. No, not there will never be. I want to be closer. It's I want to be closer. Hmm. Okay. All right. You said sing it again. Sing it again. All right. I'm gonna go to the lyrics. I'm gonna go to the lyrics. I'm gonna go to the lyrics. um. Okay. Lyrics to I wanna be closer. Okay. Let's go. Okay. We're gonna get the lyrics. We're gonna get the lyrics. I want to be lyric. Many days have gone by. I say to myself, gotta let her know she's mine. Ooh, ain't gonna waste no more time wishing you were mine. If it's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk right up to you, baby. Said I love you, baby. I love you. You should know how I feel. Because my love is so for real. And I'll do anything to have you near. I wanna be closer to you, baby. I wanna be closer to you, baby. Okay. Oh, okay. You found it. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. You got it. Say, yeah, it sounds just like it. It's crazy. Every time I hear this shit come on, I'm like, I'm waiting for the, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy. He's straight, they took it. They straight took it. I'll be looking around like, so ain't nobody gonna say nothing. They just stole my man shit. Bobby Brown and whoever his handlers are, they just stole my people's shit over here. Switch over here. They from Minneapolis. They just oh, wait, they wasn't from Minneapolis. What was they from Minneapolis? What they was from somewhere cold, right? They was from Ohio? Anyway, they stole my man shit. Y'all took my man shit. Speaking of Bobby Brown, relevant to the topic that we was talking about. Is it possible? I said, is it possible that Bobby Brown was the underdog? Did we really think that Bobby Brown was going to persevere when he went solo? Shoot. If we didn't think Bobby Brown would hit and chart and all of that kind of stuff, what about BBD from New Edition? Like, when BBD, think about it. Mike, Ronnie, and Ricky? Like, we looking like what are y'all gonna do? Y'all the dancers. All right, Ricky sung a little bit, but like, you ain't Bobby, you ain't Ralph, and you sure ain't that other guy. Yeah, man. Look, what we not gonna do is I'm not gonna be adding in. I'm not gonna be adding in no damn what's his name from DC as the real New Edition. I'm sorry. You all of all of the New Edition members from from Boston are the ones I'm talking about. JG, Jonathan, so and so. But yeah, so like you take somebody like BBD. Did we think that they would have had a shot to make hits? And they wind up being the best, selling the most out of all of them. And I say that they were the best because they had the best album. Even more than Bobby Brown's second album. BBD album, they ain't have no bad songs. That shit was through and through the shit. Okay. So, yeah. Now, a lot of people would have told you that, oh no, those are the New Edition members that I like the most. Yeah. Rooting for the underdog when it's convenient. Because you ain't gonna tell me that no Ronnie DeVoe or anything starring Ronnie DeVoe was part of your favorite in no New Edition. You're not gonna tell me that. I'm not. No. We ain't doing that. Y'all can't make me. We not doing that. We not doing that. We not doing that. So a lot of times when we don't have a dog in the fight, it's a little easier to root for the underdog or to even acknowledge the underdog. Like I was saying before, sometimes when we know somebody personally, we'll give them the status as being good enough to rank up there with the rest of them. But sometimes we hate on people that we know. I mean, I don't mean we as in you personally, but there are plenty of people who hate on people that they know, and will be quick to tell somebody, well, you ain't no blah 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 or no blah blah blah. I mean, you all right, but you ain't this and you ain't that. And that could be a real blow to somebody's ego. I don't know. Like somebody could come along and be like, yeah, oh, you cool, but you ain't no Nori. You don't have no drink champs. Don't nobody want to hear that shit you talk about. It's like, I'm like, that motherfucker don't even let his guest speak. He be too drunk. He be cutting his guests off. But like I said, when it's root for the underdog, the reason that we root for the underdog when it's convenient. And it might be convenient when you see somebody that's on the come up. When you see him working hard, you see him making moves, you see him doing things like, oh yeah, this person is next. They're next. Next up is this person, that woman, that man, those people, that group, this organization, that faction. when you see it. So it might be convenient to root for the underdog when you have insider information or when you have bore witness to the moves that they are making and the come up that they are being a part of. Other than that, you might be like, man, nobody want to hear that shit you doing. You are right. You can catch a football and run with it, but you ain't no Devontae Smith. You ain't no AJ Brown. I mean, just because you can throw a football does not make you a Jalen, you know. You ain't gonna be no Mr. Hurts. You ain't no Jalen Hurts. Jay Reed. You ain't no cop. You ain't no cop Jay Reed. Well, sometimes we might hate on people that we know. We don't give them the underdog status that should be rooted for. We don't look at them as being next. We don't look at them as being good enough. I live in a whole city. That hardly ever believes in homegrown talent. It is so hard for an artist to make it out of Philly from Philly. It's hard, hard, hard. Most of our artists who have made it when they were from Philly, they made it after the rest of the world stamped them. They made it after the rest of the world said, no, they the shit. And then we had to be like, I didn't even know they was from Philly. Now we got to be asking questions. That's the kind of city I come from. Now, there are a few who are straight homegrown talent who made it out of Philly from Philly. There ain't a whole lot of them, though. The first to do it, I would say, well, you know what? In the 80s, in the young hip hop days, Schoolie D did it. Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince definitely did it. You could say Steady B did it and Cool C, but okay, we'll say they did it, but they didn't reach that level of success and longevity that I'm talking about from, that others may have experienced. But hold on, and not to jump around too much, but I was watching a documentary about Schoolie D. It wasn't about him, it was about Philly hip hop and the stamp that it has put on the industry. And they were saying how Schoolie D did his first songs and his first album totally independent. And he said, and they were saying that the industry made him pay for that because his biggest hits, he owns all of it. PSK and Gucci Time, totally independent. Everything from the album art to the production to the lyrics, everything 100%, and he sold it out of his trunk. So that record, see, back in the day, records had to make it to another place. So you might have a local hit, but for it to make it to the radio in other states, it was hard because you had to have a push. And without a major label or at least a distribution deal, it was almost impossible. Schoolie D did it. He did his own distribution and all of that. His song made it from Philly all the way to LA. And Ice-T, the proof of that is Ice-T, the West Coast rapper who's actually from the East Coast. Ice-T credited Schoolie D for making the first gangster rap song ever with PSK. And he said he copied PSK. He said he straight copied it to make 6 in the morning. And 6 in the morning it might have been Ice-T's biggest hit. 6 in the morning, cops at my door. Fresh Adidas slide against the bathroom floor. Yeah. So they said that Schoolie D, like the industry made Schoolie D pay for the fact that they didn't own those masters. They didn't own those masters. They didn't own nothing. He's still getting paid because that song has been sampled, sampled, sampled. Think about remember the song Touch Me, Tease Me by Case? They sampled Schoolie D's PSK. So the money they made was the money Schoolie made. And the industry, like, he stole millions. And he showed other Philly artists how to put themselves on. And many of them did it. He got a major deal with Jive. They gave him like 10 million to put other artists on. It didn't work out. Schoolie might have took the money. Schoolie might have took the money. Who knows? Who knows? Bottom line is the underdog will be rooted for sometimes when it's convenient. You know, and sometimes the underdog comes from out of nowhere. But I was talking about how hard it is to make it from Philly. So let's see, we had Schoolie D, we had Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, we had Steady B and Cool C. But okay. We have Jill Scott. Jill Scott did it. The Roots did it. Um After that, it starts to get dicey because people would be like, Beanie Siegel did it. No, he didn't. Meek Mill did. Schoolie D didn't. I mean, Beanie Siegel didn't. Nobody really knew who Beanie Siegel was until The Rock from New York stamped him, and then the whole world knew who he was. Let's see. Jill Scott, The Roots, Music Soul Child. Nobody heard of him. As good of an artist as he is, I never heard of no Music Soul Child. Never heard of him. He went somewhere, made a hit and an album. Oh yeah, he from Philly. I still don't know nobody from Philly who knows music, because of course that's not his real name. But we like, he didn't make it from here. It's hard. It really is. It's hard. It's hard. Some have done it, and actually, I named more than I thought I would be able to name. But it ain't easy. Like, who's that little Uzi Vert? He ain't make it from Philly. I don't know who that kid was. Frankie Beverly, my big sis, Medita McIntyre guy, Medita McGuy, my first love. What's going on, ma? She said Frankie Beverly. Yeah, Frankie Beverly did. Frankie Beverly did make it from Philly, and I guess what was the name of the dude who sung Double Dutch Bus? Every time I see that video or I hear that song, I'll be like, I bet you he produced this song with $5. I bet you. But somehow that little bubblegum hit with the strange pig Latin is something you can still play today. But when you listen to the music, you listen to the production, you're like, he got over. But he did make it from Philly. Teddy Pendergrass. Well, Teddy Pendergrass, you can't really say that because Teddy started with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. He started with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. So did Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes make it from Philly? I don't know. But you know, you going way back. You going way back. Wait. But Teddy was a bigger star than a lot of people understand. You know, he used to have his own clothing line. He had Teddy jeans. I'll never forget that. Teddy jeans. Teddy. He was full blown. He was. Huh? Teddy Pendergrass was doing some shit. But anyway, so we root for the underdog when it's convenient. You know, when it suits our purposes. You know how sometimes people want their own artist. You know, everybody don't want everybody to blow up. Sometimes we don't want. Sometimes we want an artist to stay exactly the way they are because they have that purity in their writing, in their creation, in their in their uh in their delivery. A lot of times when cats blow up to super popular status, a lot of times they lose that flavor. They lose that. Yeah, I like that. Like my favorite artist is and was The Weeknd. I love The Weeknd, but when The Weeknd blew up, now it's like he cut his hair. Well, you know, you also have to consider that he was very young. 20, 21 years old in 2013, 2012, 2013. So the things he was writing about, you know, getting high all the time and killing bitches and you know, you know, all of those dark stuff that he was talking about. But to me, that was that. I was like, yo, this is the greatest. This is Michael Jackson. If Michael Jackson was down, you know what I'm saying? That's how I look at The Weeknd. Like I listen to his stuff now, and I'd be like, "See, you too rich to be killing Asian bitches and talking about popping pills and sniffing coke and you know you know you know choking hoes to sleep, that kind of stuff." So we all sometimes we have our artists that we don't really want the rest of the world to see. Those are our underground artists. Like they're really better than everybody else, but I don't want them to ever get a chance to show that they're better than everybody else, because then their product will start to get watered down and they won't be as great as they used to be. They won't be as good. Shout out to Duck Northwest Media on Blog Talk. Appreciate you coming through. Really do, really do. But yeah. Sometimes we have our own artists. Like stay right here. Don't like my man's is better than your man's, but your man's might be the most popular thing. It's so easy for the majority of people to stay with the hot hand, with who everybody says is the greatest. And I'm like, okay, let me ask y'all this. Who would y'all say was the top comedian right now? Who's the hottest comedian? And I don't mean who do y'all think is the most popular? Because you might say Kevin Hart. Who do you think is the funniest? Who's your favorite comedian right now? And if your favorite comedian has been the same for the last 20 or 30 years, let me know. But who would y'all say? Some people would say a Chris Rock. Some people might say a Mike Epps. Some people might even say Steve Harvey or Cedric the Entertainer or somebody that they've seen in the public eye time and time again. Somebody who fills up 20,000 seat arenas like a Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart actually filled up more than that. TK Wright says, I'm not a Mike Epps fan. Yeah, Okay, Stacey White says some more. Oh, Dave Chappelle. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. Somebody, people might say that Dave Chappelle is the funniest. And I'm like, he's not even close to that. I like what Dave Chappelle does. But the funniest that I've heard, he's not in the same room. You know. TK Ray says, I love Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart. Okay, cool. Cool. And you said living? Yeah. Um, well, I guess you would have to say living because what I'm looking for is who people mostly think is the funniest. You know, like if we went into like Richard Pryor or somebody like that, we would have to go back to the 70s and 80s when they were really relevant on the comedy stage. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be able to compare it to right now. That's why I said now. And the reason that I'm asking is this: if you listen to who people say is the funniest or who has the hottest hand right now, you might get a lot of disagreement, or people might be on board. You know, people might say whoever makes the most money is the best. And there are people who I've actually heard people say that kind of dumb shit. Well, if such and such is the best, how come such and such makes this much money and this person only makes that much money? I'm like, and that has what does that have to do with the jokes that they tell? It might be the same thing in the music industry. People might say, well, Beyonce sold so many records and that's why she's the best. If she wasn't the best, then she wouldn't have sold that many records. See, Omar, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay. I'm like, she's not the best, but I understand why she's the most popular. Because when you put everything that somebody like Beyonce can do, you do get a profile of somebody that's in the top 5. No way around it. That's why when I hear people totally hate on Beyonce, like she can't sing, I'll be like, come on, y'all, we're not doing this. Don't say she can't sing. Don't say that. Say that there are other singers who are better. Say that she doesn't have enough soul for you. Say that her fans are obnoxious. But don't say she can't sing. Because now, you know, you letting the hate kick in too much. You know what I mean? That's a little much. Even Beyonce has plenty of songs that I really like that I put on repeat. Like, yo, this joint banging. I might not be a Beehive member, but I'm like, you know, come on, man. We ain't got to go there. Whenever I hear somebody be like, she can't sing, I'll be like, isn't the real problem that she is? Isn't the real problem is that she can sing? To me, that's a bigger problem because as much as we would like to say that, you know, she just dances her way through it, it's not true. No, she be putting them notes out. Always has as a kid. So as much as we would like to be like, only reason that she's as popular as she is because she got that push from the industry. Her father made sure, and yep, that's partly true. But guess what? She could back it up. It ain't what you get, it's what you can keep. And don't get me wrong. I'm not a Beehive member, and I'm not here to defend no Beyonce. I don't really care what Beyonce or Beyond do. I don't care what Beyonce or what Beyond do. But we gotta keep it a buck. Cat Williams, good choice, Stacy. A lot of people think that Cat Williams is the funniest. A lot of people, and there's a good argument for that because he's had a lot of comedy specials, and for him to come up with new material time and time again, and it doesn't like unlike other comedians, like other national comedians, it doesn't sound like Cat Williams has anybody writing for him. Now, I'm sure that he probably does, but it doesn't sound like it. That shit sound like it's coming from the horse's mouth. And that's not an easy thing to do when you become a national comedian. That ain't easy. That ain't easy. TK Wright says, I love Bill Burr too. Bill Burr, funny as as but you know what I like about Bill Burr the most? That he didn't blow. So he still got to fight for his. I can get on stage with the original Kings of the original Kings of New York. I can get on stage with talent. Yeah, you can. I can get on stage with Gerald Green Eyes Kelly. Yeah, you can. I can get on stage with Capone. Yeah, you can. I can get on stage with what's the other one name? I just want to keep doing this for a while. What's his name? Rob Stapleton. Now, a lot of y'all don't know who the hell I'm talking about. A lot of y'all don't know who the hell I'm talking about. Because these aren't household names. They're not there. They're still working. Stacey White says, who is Bill Burr? Bill Burr is this white comedian who was tearing up the New York circuit. Like, he's one of those white comedians that has not sacrificed. You know, it's not like he tries to be black or anything like that. But he can do black stages because he's just funny like that. He got that flavor. You know what I mean? I guess being in New York around a lot of them black comedians and all that kind of stuff. But that's what I really liked about Bill Burr. And when you get a chance, you know, just go ahead and go to YouTube and plug his name in. You'll see some of his material. The man funny. The man funny. TK Wright says, people think that Kevin Hart is the funniest now. One thing I'll give to Kevin Hart, and this is not taken away from anybody else, Kevin Hart be funny off of that stage, and he delivers time after time after time. Kevin Hart goes sit in on a sports broadcast, and they try to roast him, and he roasts them right back, unrehearsed. That's what you got to give to Kevin Hart. Like, his skill level is on some other shit. Other cats be funny, but you can tell they need a rehearsal. Kevin Hart be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kevin Hart will drop it. That's what I like about Kevin Hart. Now, a comedy show with 20,000 people in it, I don't have no appreciation for that. I like comedy in a more intimate setting because you can hear everything. They connect with the crowd. You know, but that's me. You like Kim Whitley? I like Kim Whitley. I like Kim Whitley. That's it. What's that other? Wait, is it Kim Whitley? Which one of them married to a woman now? They turned gay. Just broke my heart. Is that Kim Whitley? Is that her? That's her, ain't it? No. Wait a minute. Was that her? No, Kim Good, right? It's the other one. It's the other one. What's her name? The one that used to play on the other one that used to be on no, not Wanda. No, not Wanda. Not Wanda. Niecy Nash, yeah. Yeah, Niecy Nash. That's the one that sold out. I'm never speaking to her again. Ever. 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 Matter of fact, we're not speaking of her now. Yeah, we're gonna go with Kim Whitley. Matter of fact, let me erase. Thanks, Emily. Thanks for coming out of shadows. I gotta erase your comment just because I don't want nobody to come back and see that comment. So I got you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tag you in a comment. But I don't want nobody coming back to the show and being like, "Oh yeah, we saw Niecy Nash name on the. I mean, we saw name on the on in the comments. She must be the best. No, no, no. TK Wright says Wanda Sykes is married to a woman and lives in media. Yeah, I don't care. Wanda Sykes been gay. But it's not the being gay part that broke my heart with Niecy Nash. That's not it. You know what I mean? It was betrayal. It was just straight betrayal. She did us dirty. 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 Anyway. We root for the underdog when it's convenient. Emily says, well, I was disappointed. Me too. I was like, man, what we doing? What we doing out here? What we doing? What we doing? That's how I was feeling. And I'm still mad. And I'm gonna be mad. Matter of fact, I'm scheduled to be mad around 6:37 today. That's when I'm gonna be mad about that shit again. We about to get out of here, y'all. We about to get out of here, do some birthday shout outs. Let you good people get on with the rest of your day. Stacey White says, when Monique was doing comedy, I used to like. She's still doing comedy. And I don't like. I don't know, man. Monique need better jokes. All of that, fuck this, fuck that, nigga this, nigga. I'm like, come on. Can you tell a joke? How about some jokes? Come on, Mo. Can we get some jokes? Yeah, nigga, and motherfucking, and it's motherfucking this and motherfucking that, and the motherfucking. I'm like, come on. Jokes. She be cheating her way through stage because of her popularity. Like, come on, tell a joke. Be funny for real. Nah, I don't like Monique. But I have a lot of reasons for not liking Monique. She's gonna have to stop doing that dumb shit. I need jokes. She be low on the jokes, high on the cuss words. Not that I have anything against cuss words, but like I could tell the difference. You know what I mean? That'd be like if you was a rapper and all you did was cuss your way through it. I'm like, and this is a song. This is a song. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is it? Is it? All right, what we got to do? What we got to do? Stacy says, I don't think Monique is doing jokes now. She's fighting her way through. And she just had that Netflix special. Go check it out. She just had that Netflix special. So she's still doing jokes. She ain't doing no good ones, but she on that stage. She getting that money to tell them jokes that she ain't telling. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. I just want her to be better. That's all. Ain't nothing to it. Ain't much to it. Not at all. Not at all. Nada, 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 nada. We fight for the underdog. Or we rock with the underdog. Good. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 28th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Juniata. Oh no, I said Juanita Glenn turning 58 years old today, and Tina Johnson, happy birthday to you. And Nikki Brooks turning 38 years old today, happy birthday to you. And Yerika Rosario turning 30 years old today, and Obi Helen, happy birthday to you. And also Sylvia Payne turning 59 years old today, happy birthday to you. And Tosca Taylor turning 55 years old today, and Sheena Merim Johnson turning 46 years old today. And Aaron Cisco, my man, old school. Aaron Cisco turning 68 years old today. I've been rocking with him for a long time. And Joseph Whitfield turning 42 years old today. And last but not least, Gil Matthews turning 39 years old today. I want to say happy birthday to all y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to anybody and everybody out there who shares this birthday on this glorious May 28th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. I mean, check it out. I mean, peep game. I mean, hear me. We root for the underdog when it's convenient, and sometimes it's really convenient. Sometimes when we know the person, it's convenient. Sometimes when we have insider information about their journey, they come up and where they're definitely going to be placed, it's convenient. And that's not to say that we don't support them in any other times, but a lot of times the people that we support and the way that we support them has a lot to do with ourselves more than the person that they are. Like, we live vicariously through people, even if I'm not saying that y'all trying to be somebody or live somebody else's life. When you live vicariously through somebody, you identify with whatever way that they're living and what they're doing and what they're striving for and trying to be, what they're trying to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're not talking about clout chasing. But a lot of times we might be talking about clout chasing when we talk about staying relevant, or when we talk about rooting for the underdog or rooting for anybody. A lot of times people only believe in the most popular thing. Well, if it wasn't the best, then this many people wouldn't be supporting it. And that's just not good enough for me. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's not. I'm like, that doesn't mean that you're the best because everybody supports you. You might have the machine behind you that keeps everybody else from seeing anybody else except for who they're letting you see. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow for another daily Go Getimism show. So make sure y'all come through. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. So Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobas. On the other side, my boobas. On the other side, my boobas. Peace.